Petoskey Northman basketball on WJML is brought to you tonight by your local Petoskey UPS store, your certified packaging expert, located in the Mitchell Street Plaza near Radio Shack. Silver Dollar Business Solutions, increase your business's bottom line with value-added electronic payment services. Northern Michigan Artist Market with art in all media by over 90 local Northern Michigan artists from Traverse City to the top of the Upper Peninsula at 445 East Mitchell Street, next to the old library in Petoskey's historic Gaslight District. And special thanks to WJML Radio, News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210, and worldwide on WJML.com. And this is Marty Scott. I am here with Caitlin Crittenden and Jason Bassett at Petoskey High School, the home of the Big North Conference champion Petoskey Northman girls basketball team. With Cadillac losing earlier this week, no matter what happens tonight, Petoskey has clinched the championship of the Big North. This is the last game of the season as we get ready to move into the playoffs next week. We'll be talking about that and all kinds of other things tonight as things progress. I do want to observe that there's a lot of basketball going on tonight, and we apparently came in right as the Pistons-Pacers game was about to start. Pacers are beating the Pistons 6-2 right now, so you don't want to listen to that. You want to listen to this. But I'll try to keep my eye on their scoreboard every once in a while and say something about it.
Well, I'll tell you, this JV game's getting very exciting, too.
Yes, it is.
It's 39-30, and just in this last 30 seconds, they cut the lead, or 39-37. Now we're playing Alpena, so very exciting. Great job to the younger Northmen for stepping it up. With 3:15 left in the fourth.
That's right, and it's how they do is becoming more and more important to the varsity as we get closer to the playoffs, and then to next season we're going to graduate some people, and we're going to need some of those JVs coming up. I was talking to Coach Lombardi before the game, and she said that they're planning on bringing up Sarah Yankovic and Megan Sisko for the playoffs, which start on Monday. So we've got plenty of time to talk about the playoffs and all those other kinds of basketball ins and outs. But right now we have Alpena and Petoskey to talk about. The Northmen in first place, having just while they were home asleep, probably not, but eating dinner or something, clinched the Big North Conference. They're 10-1, 16-2 overall. They have 13 straight wins and 2 games on top of the Big North Conference. The Alpena Wildcats at the other end of the Big North Conference in 6th. They're 3-8, 6-12 overall with 1 win in a row. And we're going to talk about both of these teams a little bit more as we go along. But Caitlin, what can you tell us about the Alpena Wildcats?
Alpena Wildcats, out of the BNC, I feel like play the most different. And what I mean by different is, they go hard to the boards. They don't look like they're a good team, but they surprised you. I think they're well coached, which that's why I mean by different. I feel like there's a lot more talent on other teams, but the way they are coached, they can utilize what they have. They don't have that much, but they have something, and that's because of the coach. They have a really good girl, Christina Collian. She scored, I believe, she scored last time we played them. I'm looking in my stat sheet. She scored 12 points last game, so if they can really shut her down, they don't have much to worry about. Trelfa and Milligan each had 4, so they played really well against this team, kept them under definitely 30. So
yeah, 24 points, and that makes that accomplishment by Collian even more. I mean, she had 12, but it was half of the points that Alpena scored in that game.
Yeah, so if they can just shut her down, she's the type of player you always wonder. I said this last time we played them. How did she shoot that? How did that go in? I don't know. You don't get it, but it makes it tough to guard. But as long as Alyssa and whoever Frazier will be on her probably. If they can shut her down, then we'll be in good shape for tonight.
Yeah, this is one of those games where one of those teams where you talk about matchups. I mean, they pose some challenges, like you said, that some of the other teams don't do. And even though that they're in 6th place, we gave up, as we just said, 24 points against them last time. We scored 62, so we had pretty good offensive operation against them.
I think at a few points of that game, there was a running clock.
Right.
So
that's true. And last week, they were pretty soundly defeated by Cadillac. Cadillac beat them 66-32. You were talking about some of their players. Colian got a team-high 9 in that game. The team made, it was interesting, their team made 32 turnovers, which is a lot for that game. And every Cadillac player scored. Coach Polly of Alpena said that their pressure was incredible. Speaking of Cadillac, we struggled to get the ball up the court, and when we did, we panicked. I mean, they felt pretty outclassed by Cadillac in that game, and it shows up in the score. Now then, they played their most recent game was Monday, a non-conference game against Tawas, a little different opposition level. But in that game, they won that one 45-40. Milligan got a career high 18, and interestingly enough, she got 17 of those 18 in the first half.
It's weird to think about. I remember my freshman year, we won districts, our first round of regionals. We lost to Tawas, and I remember it was a pretty close game. It wasn't like we lost by 1 point. We probably lost by 5 or 6, but. It's, and then you hear Alpena usually doesn't have that strong of a team in beating Tawas. It's just weird how the competition changes from year to year, and some teams you can be outstanding and other teams can just not have it.
There you go. Well, one thing that happened in that game that we should keep our eyes open for is Amy Milligan got 5 out of 6 from the three-point line.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That was pretty good. And Colian had 11 with 13 rebounds, and the team got 40 rebounds, which may just mean they missed a lot of shots. But pretty interesting. So these guys definitely not going to roll over tonight, and this is an important game for them. But we'll be back to talk about that a little bit more right here on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210 and worldwide on WJML.com.
Hydration isn't something athletes do just during a practice or game. Good hydration takes place before practices and games as well. You can learn more about good hydration and heat acclimation by visiting the MHSAA website, clicking on Education, and checking out the various resources, including a free online course offered by the National Federation. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Hey, I'm Kristen.
The best mobile pet beautician around. I'm Robert.
The owner of the UPS store in my neighborhood. I get all kinds of pet products delivered all the time. And since my van is my office.
Her business needed a real street address.
So I got a mailbox at the UPS store. Now I never miss a delivery because Robert can sign
for all Kristen's packages and send out a text or email when they arrive. Kristen loves being in business on her own.
But with Robert's help, I don't feel like I'm alone.
And running around in circles.
Are you a
mind reader?
Wow.
To learn about mailbox services at the UPS store and to find a locally owned center near you, visit theupsstore.com. We love small businesses. We love logistics.
Your Petoskey UPS store is your certified packing experts. Locally owned and operated and located in the Mitchell Street Plaza near Radio Shack. Mention that you heard this ad and you'll get a 10% discount on in-store custom packaging.
What are you doing out there with that rifle and dynamite?
I hated that old credit card machine so much that after Silver Dollar Business Solutions came by, this'll be fun.
No, that's dangerous.
Oh, we don't need that old thing anymore. Silver Dollar Business Solutions got me a better system and lowered my rates. My customers are happy with quicker checkout, and we're keeping more of our hard-earned revenue.
Well, it sounds like you've really thought through the business part, but that pile of dynamite has me worried.
Oh, it'll be great.
If you own or manage a business and hate your credit card processor, Silver Dollar Business Solutions can help. Whether you need to lower your costs on your current equipment or replace your processing system, Silver Dollar Business Solutions is here for you. You will be so happy you'll want to celebrate, but please don't do anything dangerous.
I guess the dynamite wasn't such a good idea.
231-758-2851. Silver Dollar brings value to you.
Nice big crowd here tonight in Petoskey. I guess it's Parents' Night tonight, right? So we got lots of the team's parents here. Is that a senior night thing, or is it for all the parents?
It's for all the parents, but the seniors take it a lot more seriously just because this is their last night playing in regular season on their home court. Yes, we will see them here on districts for sure on Monday, and hopefully on, I don't know.
We'll talk a little bit more about that.
For finals, if they get to the finals. Right. But yeah, so definitely this is a big night for parents. I was just talking to Mr. Van Worden, and after Alyssa, this is his last child. He has an older son, but his last child playing basketball on this court for regular season games. So he said he might have a few tears out there, but
yeah, well, this is a big event for the parents. The parents have put a lot into these players too, and they come to a lot of the games. And a big night for the Ants family. Unfortunately, Kelsey's grandma, Mary Jingle, passed away Sunday, and her funeral was today. And I heard it was a very nice service. My mom went. But just keep her in mind, keep their family in your prayers and thoughts. And, our broadcast could be in memory of her tonight. Okay, well, that'd be appropriate. I mean, I think we may have lost a third of our audience when she passed away. I know she was a very loyal listener.
She was a very loyal listener. So just keep their family in your thoughts and prayers. I know it's Parents' Night too, and it's great to see Mrs. Ants here, supporting Kelsey and her night. And I know her grandma's here in spirit, and probably has the best seats in the house. So
right. Well, Kelsey's mother told me before the game that she thought that that her mother probably was finally getting good reception for the broadcast tonight. So,
I'm not sure if it was us or the hearing aid, but
whatever. I think I've insulted our broadcast enough for now, but
you better watch it. Your engineer has the switches and dials over here.
This is true, but no, very, very sorry that she's passed. No, she was a wonderful person, and we're glad we had the opportunity to entertain her a little bit while she was still here with us. The junior varsity game is winding down to the final second, and it just ended. You heard that horn. Unfortunately, Alpena won 46-43, but really close game at the finish. For the Northmen tonight, for the varsity, well, you remember their last game was last week on Friday. That was a game we covered here against Ogma Heights. Northmen won 53-25 with not much scoring for the Ogma Heights in the beginning of the game, and they got a lot of those points near the end with
it was a bad game. It was probably the worst game we played ever.
Yeah, but I was a little surprised when I looked at the stats at the end. Kelsey Ants had a game high 22, which was a lot of points for a game like that, and 7 rebounds. And Megan had 14 with 10 rebounds. Liz Fraser had 6 with 5 assists, and Amanda Stinger, who did a really nice job in that game.
We gave her Eye of the Tiger.
She did. She got 6 points, and Alyssa Van Worden got 3 with 2 blocks. And then the team was 22 for 38 from the floor, 57.9%. Not all that bad. It's just the play just looked really, really sloppy.
It just, you're gonna, when you're playing a team like Ogama Heights, you're gonna get that scoring. That type of scoring, especially with players like Kelsey and Megan Tompkins. But, their execution was horrible. And, we still won by, I forget how much you just said, but we still won by a lot. And so
53-25.
Yeah, you're going to have that. But we can't, this far into the season, we can't have games like that. Right. We look at Cadillac, and they aren't playing as well as they are, but TC West is, and or Gaylord, and those are the teams we're going to see in district. So we, can't sack off.
Right. Well, yeah, this week, actually, all those teams played. On Thursday, Gaylord beat Cadillac 53-39, which is why we have now clinched the BNC championship. TC West played their annual season-end game against TC Central and killed them 49-26. So, those are a couple teams we're going to have to watch out for over the next week. Ogma Heights had a non-conference game against Pinconning, and they beat them soundly 69-32. It's good that Ogma Heights is still playing a few teams from their previous conference, give them a chance to get some wins in the season. But Northman now sitting a game and a half ahead of Cadillac, 2.5 ahead of TC West, 3.5 ahead of Gaylord, and so those teams are all going to be factors in the districts. We have, and then we're going to resolve all those halves tonight as we play our final game of the season. That last game. We talked about that last game, and that was the last game. We had one more game scheduled, a non-conference against Sault Ste. Marie here in Petoskey on Tuesday, but that was canceled because of snow. A lot of snow this week. So, and now the parents are out, coming out being introduced with their star basketball players, and there's a little baby coming out there. The whole thing is pretty nice, You remember going through this yourself?
Yes, we did it on our pink game last year, so it was like fun. We were with our parents, and they were all supportive, and then we had our jerseys and stuff. So these are like my favorite. I love Mr. and Mrs. Lewis. Actually, I love a lot of these parents, the ones that I played on the team with, Mr. and Mrs. Lewis. I'll mention the other ones when they get here, but
well, you play with, as I said, the parents are a big part of this whole operation, and you not only play with their daughters, but you play with them. You have their support. They come to the games and
they host our team dinners, and they're so great. And you got, a sporting event is such a big commitment, and we can't thank them enough for what they do for us. Here's Mr. and Mrs. Skolton, very nice couple. They hosted a few of our team dinners.
And the school superintendent for Petoskey Schools.
Yeah. He's the one that called the snow days, maybe.
Maybe so. I don't think he controls the weather, though, but just has to admit to the fact.
Yes. He called one on my birthday, and I knew it was for me.
Okay.
Here's Tompkins. My favorite girl to watch on the court.
There you go.
And we have Liz Frazier, and they're calling out too fast that they have to take these pictures, but we have Liz Frazier right now. Her parents are always there, come to every single game, and we have the Ants family, and I know Mary Jingle is right beside them. I bet she wanted to walk up this for Parents' Night, and I know Mrs. Ants played at Petoskey, so this is kind of like a special moment for her. And we have Mrs. Van Worden, their empty nester, after Alyssa.
Yeah, so they walked. Did her brother play ball too? Or?
He played soccer.
Well, I feel like I should be playing Pomp and Circumstance over here.
There you go. Yep. It is like a graduation. Everybody walking up, but and that's another thing. This is it's going to be that time of year for all these kinds of events.
They're wiping away their tears. How sweet! I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I'll just say
they're just fine. It's Caitlin who's wiping away her tears, but that's what we expect. From our color coordinator, Fashion Passion. I wanted to talk to you about that. I was listening to the BBC.
What is that?
The British radio. A newscast somewhere in the middle of the week, and they had a sports story in the middle of their newscast about a soccer team, and they said that this one soccer team which had just lost the game was wearing really ugly jerseys, and that there seems to be a correlation between teams wearing ugly jerseys and losing
and stink.
And stink. No, and losing games. Yes. So I thought, well, see, Caitlin, you're really catching on. Now even the BBC is talking about fashion and passion and all that. So
it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So we have to make sure that we get that segment in. And in fact, why don't we do that right now? You ready for that?
Yeah.
Talk about fashion.
You guys probably already heard this little segment, but I don't mind Alpena's jerseys. I think they have Razorback, where it's more of like a back of a sports bra than a regular cutoff jersey. So I think it looks better. I feel like that's more of a volleyball thing to do, even though volleyball now went to long sleeves, which seems different, but I like long sleeve volleyball players. But we're not talking about volleyball.
No, we're not.
Sorry, but yeah, I just feel like it's softball or something else to do. And I have Mr. Jim Can with me and Mrs. Can. Shout out to them.
People feel free to walk by and harass you. I don't know what that is, but
it happens every 3 times during a home game. So.
All right. Well, and on the passion side of this is an interesting spot for the Northmen.
Passion side, I know it means drama, but I think this is an emotional game. This is their last regular home season game or home court game, and that's huge. And it's going to hit. We have a lot of seniors on this team. We have Ans, Tompkins, Van Worden, Frazier, and I'm probably missing someone, but that's all right.
That's it.
And it's just...
Skolden.
Skolden, yes. It's an emotional game. You want to leave it all on the court. You want to give it all you got. You don't want to leave Petoskey Gym with a bad feeling in your mouth or in your gut or any of that. And playing a team like Alpena, it's easy to just...
Well, you've got a team like Alpena. You've got a crummy game for the last game that they played. You've got a clinched championship. So in terms of official standards and everything, there's really nothing to play for tonight. But on the other hand, you've got a 13-game winning streak. You've got the playoffs starting on Monday, and you want to be ready for that. This is an important game.
It's funny because that was like our season last year. Our final season, we had a 14-game winning streak in regular season, one or less. So that's kind of ironic that we lost the same. They've only lost 1 game, but it was at the same point of our season.
Yep. So where are we now? We got about 10 minutes or so to go before the game starts because the junior varsity game just ended a few moments ago. So we're going to be back in a minute, and we're going to talk about some more of the pregame stuff that's going on here. We're going to talk about all the people who are sitting here in the crowd and get all geeked up for tonight's final game of the season. And we'll do that in just a minute right here on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210 and worldwide on WJML.com.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I'm an unwinder. I'm about to go unwind for 4 days at a spa. The last thing I want to do is deal with my luggage, so I'm going to leave it up to logistics.
Unwinders love logistics. With our luggage services, just drop your luggage off at the UPS store, and your bags will be sent right to your destination. No waiting in line to check bags, no waiting at baggage claim. All you have to do is unwind. To find a location near you, visit theupsstore.com. The UPS store locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours vary by location.
The Continental Inn of Sheboygan is conveniently located on Main Street in downtown Sheboygan. Within walking distance of the beach, shopping, and restaurants, the Continental Inn offers spacious rooms with cable television, high-speed internet, and all the comforts of home. Enjoy the heated outdoor pool and start your day off right with a delicious continental breakfast every day. And at the Continental Inn, your well-mannered pets are always welcome. Book your stay on the web at continentalinn.biz.
They officiate because they love the game that gave so much to them, and they want to give back to it. They officiate because they believe that the mission of high school sports is to help educate kids. They'd like you to join their ranks, so why don't you? To become a registered high school game official, call or click the Michigan High School Athletic Association. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
All right, we are back here at Petoskey High School, and still a bunch of things for us to talk about. Remember, last week we talked about how the Petoskey Northland girls had broken into the Associated Press poll rankings. They were not in the top 10, but they did rank number 17th for the first time in the season, being in that list. And they had 2 points in the poll. This last week, they picked up 2 more points, and they're still ranked number 17, but they have 4 points now, so they're the only Northern Michigan team really showing up in the Class A polls. I noticed that our old nemesis from last year, Grand Haven, is down a notch. They're number 3. I guess they were 3 last week too, but they'd been up as high as 2. They're number 3 in Class A in the state. And if we do get to the regionals, our first regional game is against the team that wins their district, which might well again be the Grand Haven Buccaneers. But that's looking a little too far in the future. Let's look a little closer. The districts do start on Monday. And our first game is here in Petoskey, which is fortunate because the opposition team is the Marquette Redettes. And fortunately, our team, the Northmen, and Jason and Caitlin and I do not have to travel all the way to Marquette because, thankfully, the Marquette Redettes are getting in their bus and traveling all the way down here. So that's a good way to start the class. We have some memories about playing Marquette in playoffs.
We're not going to talk about those memories, but
well, we're gonna make some new ones on Monday. Game starts at 6 o'clock. We'll be on the air at, I believe, at 5:30 after the news. So be sure to tune in on Monday as district play starts. Also on Monday, TC West starts off the districts against this team here tonight, Alpena. That should be an interesting competition. TC West, one of the top 3 teams in the conference. And then we have the Blue Devils game. The
I think
Sault Ste. Marie at Gaylord.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything from Marquette, so I'm not gonna. I know they're really well coached, for sure. I don't know about talent-wise, but I think Blue Devils, after that first game, is going to be the team to watch out for. We can't get caught up in we beat them twice. They have definitely improved, I think, especially with Mackenzie Edwards. She was out the first half of the season and getting back within the flow, and she's averaging 20-something points a game. It's crazy.
All right. Well, then on Wednesday, the districts continue, and the Marquette Petoskey winner plays the TC West Alpena winner. And the team that got a bye in the first path through, TC Central, comes in and plays the winner of Gaylord and Sault Ste. Marie. And then on March 1st, on Friday, we've got the district final. So a week from tonight, we'll be through the districts. Hopefully not until then. But hopefully we'll have 3 great games this week. And as long as Petoskey's in.
Is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully no snow delays again.
There you go. Which is, with teams like Marquette, Sault Ste. Marie, Gaylord, Traverse City, Petoskey, snow is always a possibility for these. But I think the weather's supposed to improve over the next several days, hopefully so. And we get the districts in. Then district finals, like I said, on Friday, March 1st. And then after that, we go into the regionals, March 5th through 7th. And our regional, it's the Grand Rapids Northview region, but we don't know where those games are going to be. I mean, usually, or at least like last year, we went down to Cadillac, I think, for that first game against Grand Haven. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But it'll be that same district that will be playing that first game of the regionals against. So that if all that plays out in a nice way, we get a good little rematch there with the Buccaneers, I think it was, from Grand Haven. I know we had our pirate come along with us on that trip, right, Jason? I don't want to hear from him right now. We have a lot. I said I didn't want to hear from him right now.
Okay, I'm riding the bus.
We have a long way to go. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves or anything like that, But I did promise, though, speaking of sounds in last year, I did promise Jason that I would mention that tonight's game is against Alpena, which is the team from the far east of the Big North Conference. The far east of the Big North Conference. There you go. And that's okay. You got your one shot at that now. So that's we did that We did that last year when we played out there. We had that
We have Mr. Van Worden right here wiping his tears from his emotional night of his daughter playing last.
Caitlin trying to change the subject back to basketball, and good for her. Appreciate that. But just, you got your engineer here. You got to keep him humored a little bit. He works really hard, a lot of times between the games and a lot of things to keep our switches and dials working well and keep us on the air. And we're glad to have him along. Anyway, we got about 3-4 minutes to go before the game starts. Teams are doing their final stretching out. The coaches are getting ready to talk to everybody. And they have both sets of bleachers down tonight. They have, because of parents' night, and there's, it's not a huge crowd, but people are kind of scattered all through the gym, and it feels more full tonight. I think, mostly the parents do show up. So,
and I'm impressed by, on the other side, it's mainly Alpena. I know we probably have more people on our side for sure, but, Alpena parents traveling that far, that's great to see when parents travel 2.5 hours.
Right. And, it's not only is it far, but we know from having to go there once a season at least. Last season we went there twice. I think we played a district game there. But you can't get from here to Alpena or from Alpena to here. There's no direct way to do it. It's wandering through the woods for most of the evening to go each of those ways. But thank you very much to all the people from Alpena who came out here. And like I said, we're looking forward to the start of tonight's game. We talked about the rankings, the AP rankings, and how Northland are moving up there. We're going to mention that all of our we're completely caught up on videos. So the videos of all the games that we've done all season, except for one, I think, right at the beginning that we messed up on. But ever since then, all the games, including last week's game, are on YouTube. And you can watch the videos of any of them that you want to, and then call up Caitlin afterwards and tell her how much you enjoyed listening to her on those broadcasts. She never watches those, but
I get mad when I watch them.
Okay. But you are welcome to, and you can get there either by going to WJML.com and clicking on the link, or by just going to YouTube and looking for WJML Sports. And that'll get you. And thanks to Jason for all the work he's done to make those videos such high quality and all that, and we're glad to have that happen. But when we're ready to go here, we have the starting lineups for the two teams and all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I know that we actually have a change. We don't have to talk about it yet, but I know that we actually have a change in the starting lineups for the Northland after the same starting lineup all season. So I want to make sure we don't miss out on that. And now
it's a predictable change.
It is. It makes a lot of sense, and it's for a positive reason. And now that everybody's got or at least the Alpena players have their warm-ups on, I see what you mean about the jerseys. They do have that kind of sports bra top. And a razor, is that what it's called?
I don't know. I just call it that.
Okay. Well, that's good enough for me if you call it that. Why not? The razor top on
I feel like that's what it is called, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think they're just too clingy up top. They should be loose.
I think that is the correct term for whatever it's worth.
Well, it is. Caitlin said it. And she is the color and fashion coordinator here. So, and I got to carry the broadcast for a few minutes right now because another of Caitlin's fans has come up to talk to her at the beginning of the broadcast, and that's good. That's why
that's what happens when you broadcast with famous people.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, well, we're still waiting
for it. It just happens when you went to school last year and you run into all these people you know.
Right, and you're related to half the people in the town. Speaking of which, now it's time to honor our nation with the national anthem. And I think we're about to hear from them in just a moment. No pep band tonight, so
there's like a concert going on at the middle school or competition. I'm not sure.
And the band went to that instead of coming to the basketball game. Hey, What are you going to do, But anyway, now we're getting ready. We get the final announcements in here, but everybody's standing up and waiting for the national anthem. And see Jason's got his fingers on the switch, so we're about ready to listen to that here in just a minute. And I'm excited about this game. I'm really looking forward to the wrap-up of the season and getting into the districts. So I'm as anxious as I can be for this game to get underway, and that's going to happen in just a minute as we're just about to go to the national anthem. I have my golf broadcaster's voice on now. And now he approaches the tee for the national anthem. Chorale rendition of the national anthem tonight. Unfortunately, on recorded, we didn't have that whole chorale here, but it sounded pretty good, Jason. Got a nice sound on that. It was almost like we had them all here. But we're glad to listen to that anyway. And now we're getting the starters announced for the two teams. So we'll turn it over to Caitlin, and let's find out who's starting tonight.
For the Northmen, we have at guard Hannah Skolton. At center, Megan Tompkins. At forward, Liz Frazier. At forward, Kelsey Ants. And at point guard, Alyssa Van Warden.
And Skolton is at change. Glad to see her get a chance to play in her final game as a senior. I'm sure that's what the reason is. 5 seniors
are starting tonight. Parents' night, last conference game. A very special moment. It's very exciting, to have the 5 leaders out on the court at the same time.
And there is Hannah being introduced just now and drawing the applause of the crowd. And there is another team here tonight, Alpena.
Alpena, we have at guard Jenna Tobalt, at forward Emma Strong, at forward Amy Milligan, at center Lizzie Trelfa, and at guard Christina Colian.
And the big names in that lineup.
Milligan and Colian.
Yep, and Teff to some degree, but mostly Colian and Milligan. We'll see how they do tonight. Hopefully the Northman defense that's been so strong all season will play a key role in controlling them tonight, and we'll get to see a good game on the offensive side from Hannah. Maybe she'll get some good three-point pops out there tonight. And
I think a reason why, Hannah Skolton has such great energy. It's always good to bring that energy in the game. So, I think that's why they kept her out on the bench.
Somebody just popped up here behind Caitlin and brought a little, I think that's like a locker sign, right? With Caitlin's number and her name on it.
Yeah, it was a locker sign, and I forget. Oh, I feel this is my baby. Okay, I might cry. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a locker number, 32 Crittenden.
Yeah, that's your uniform number.
I own that number, right. So. Unfortunately, they forgot to retire it, just like they forgot to put my name on the record for 4-year varsity.
Yes, but I'm sure they will take care of that.
And I'm sure they'll retire my number. It might be too late because someone else wore it. But that's all right. That's all right. You're doing a great job, Asia. Own that number.
And you're happy to see somebody else wearing that and coming out and doing something. Yeah, I know. Yep, that's how it goes.
Maybe like 6 years from now, it's a little sore right now, but that's all right.
You're expecting they're going to forget all about you
my high
by
school
6 years.
experience is done. I'm glad what I had. Happy it's over.
We finished the season just the way we played it every game all along. Megan Tompkins wins the opening tip-off, and we are underway in first quarter action. Skolton with the ball over on the left side, back out on top to Van Worden, over the right-hand side to Fraser, as the seniors whip the ball around the court. Skolton on top, down to Van Worden on the left-hand side. Van Worden back out on top to Fraser. Fraser over the right side to Skolton. Nobody getting inside, though.
I don't understand because right now Alpena's running a 2-3 zone, and it's not like they're not open.
Okay, but Kelsey Ants gets the ball, and when she gets it, she does something with it, takes it in and puts it up. So Northman get the early lead, 2-0 here.
That was for Grandma.
There you go, Grandma. And a few more for her, hopefully, tonight as that goes. Alpena with the ball now, and the shoot from outside. That was Strelfa. And she put the ball in just inside the three-point arc, and so it's 2-2. Van Worden and Skolton just short of the timeline. Now they get it across. And Skolton over on the right. Skolton brings it back out on top. And Van Worden to Fraser, inside to Tompkins, and she puts a layup in. So we've got Ants and Tompkins on the books already tonight, 4-2 Northman, 6:40 left in the opening quarter. Alpena with the ball now, and bringing the ball up the floor is Talbot. Goes all the way to the hole, puts the ball in. So good offensive start for both teams here.
Looks like Alpena just called a timeout. I'm wondering if they're going to adjust a few things. Kelsey and Megan, those are definitely the people they're trying to stop, and scoring 2 points, each of them, off the get-go is not what they want to do. The Northmen, I think they need to look inside. Like Megan is 6'3". I think the next closest height maybe 5'10". So they really need to, either make her jump for it. She obviously proves that she can jump high and stuff. So make her jump for it. I think her and Kelsey can work a good high-low. The 2-3 will definitely work in their advantage. They just need to take care of the ball and bringing it up the court. Skolton and Van Worden and Fraser.
Well, let's see what they do now, this time with the ball, as Skolton passes it in for the Northmen, bringing it up to half court. Fraser with it now, and over to Van Worden, back to Fraser. She's still short of the timeline, gets it into Skolton now all the way up to the forecourt, dribbles up to the three-point arc, and back out on top to Fraser. And Van Worden now back to Skolton, and pass back out on top to Fraser, almost knocked away, but she gets it. Now there's Ants going to the baseline, puts it up, and Tompkins gets the rebound, and in it goes.
That's what we need right now. It's just someone putting it up. We can't settle for just, work for your shots, but we need someone putting it up. We have Kelsey and Megan, and Alyssa's always good going to the board and to get that put back.
So getting the ball inside already 3 times tonight, 6-4 North, and 5:41 remaining in the first quarter. Out on top now for Alpena, over to the right-hand side, it's Talbot. Talbot back up on top to Colian, and shot misses, rebounded by the Northmen, and they now bring the ball out. It's Van Worden. Cross in the middle of Fraser. Fraser over to the right-hand side to Skolton. Down to the corner to Ants, and she puts up a 3. So it's the Ants and Tompkins show.
Right next to us, we have all of Kelsey's family, and I think a lot of them are in town. So it's a great little fan section we saw.
So should we say something nice and loud, like another lucky shot by Kelsey Ants? No, no, it was a great shot. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, Alpena doesn't get a shot off, and Van Worden has the ball now back across the timeline quickly for the Northmen. Takes a look over the offense. Tompkins slashing into the middle. She gets it at the free throw line. Passes underneath to Ants. Ants double team, but she gets it away to Fraser. Back out on top now.
That's excellent ball movement. They're trying to really pack it in with Kelsey and Megan, and for them seeing those open looks and passing it around, and
they got that shot from outside at the free throw line after getting it down inside and being all jammed up in there. So Jenna Talbot with the ball, driving down towards the baseline, passes it over there to Emma Strong. Her shot off the rim, but Alpena gets the rebound. Northman now 11-4 all of a sudden, now to a good lead. And
nice
pass
steal.
inside, stolen by Skolton. who got right in the passing lane and gets the ball out. Now Van Worden at the top of the key over to the right-hand side to Liz Fraser. Back to Van Worden out on top. Skolton on the left-hand side. Crossing going on inside. There's Ants gets the ball, tries to pass it across, gets through finally to Van Worden, although it was knocked away by one of the Alpena players. Northman set it back up again. Skolton on the left-hand side. Tompkins is being double-teamed deep down inside. She comes out to the free throw line, but the ball goes to Skolton on the left and then back out on top to Fraser. Underneath now to Ants. She gets between two defenders and puts the ball up and in.
You know, I think they're doing a good job of finding those openings, but I think we could have faster ball movement. They're playing a 2-3 zone. We need to, have quicker passes, but they're doing a great job for the way they are playing. I think it could be a little bit better.
That's one of the keys to beating the zone is moving the ball around, and I'd like to see a little more of that. Down on the floor now, a couple of people diving for it. Kelsey Ants right in the middle of the pile, along with Lizzie Tralfa for Alpena. And on the arrow, it's going to Alpena. Standing in front of us here is Colian, getting ready to throw the ball in. And coming out are Van Worden and Skolton in. Who came in?
Katie Lewis and Amanda Stinger.
And here we go, Alpena with the ball. It's Colian out on top, looking around on the inside. Northman playing defense on him really closely. There's Stinger guarding on the outside. They get it into the middle, and that was Trelfa with it. Foul called as she turns to go to the basket.
Called on Megan Tompkins. That's her first of the game for both sides. So, they're definitely controlling their fouls, unlike last game against Ogama.
Non-shooting foul, so they bring it in from the baseline, and it gets all the way out on top to Jenna Talbot. Talbot looking around, finds who is that? Teff over here, and then down to the baseline, back out on top, and the ball bounces off the hands, and there is Fraser tying it up. It's got to be Northman's turn to get the ball, and Kelsey Ant steps out of bounds to bring it in for the Northman. Northman up 13-4 with 2:38 remaining in the first quarter of tonight's game. And the league champion Northman bring the ball up across the court. It's Liz Fraser back to Katie Lewis. They get it inside to Ants. She's triple team, passes it over nicely to Fraser. Her shot misses, but it was good in-out kind of play. And the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be a foul. Kelsey Ants stepping to the free throw line.
Foul was on Emma Strong. That's her first.
13-4 Northman, 2:21 remaining, and here's Kelsey's first shot, and nothing but net. She does a really good job from the free throw line.
Oh yeah, I think yes, for sure.
And there's the second one. So now it's 15-4 Northman. And what looked like a pretty tightly played game at the beginning, now Northman sort of breaking out of it. And Colian gets all the way down the court.
You can't have Colian is kind of like the Kelsey Ants on their team, just able to drive through players. You don't know how she does it, but she does. And she doesn't do it as smoothly as Kelsey, but you got to stop ball. It
was effective, and nobody did, and so she got all the way in and made the shot. Now she's got it again at the top of the key. This time passes underneath, and the shot's rebounded by Ants. Ants has Fraser all the way up the court, but can't get it to her. Now she does near the baseline. Fraser pulls it back out on top to Lewis, and Lewis dribbles the ball back out as they reset the offense. Back out on top again, this time to Stinger. Stinger on the right side to Ants. Ants drives in, tries to put it up against two defenders. They're collapsing on her pretty well. You know, we haven't yet seen one of those plays where she gets right through them.
Right now, but she has 9 points, so.
That is true. That's true. But she's scoring those by getting the ball when she's in the open. Pass comes out now to Tompkins back underneath. Tompkins now again at the top of the...
I want Tompkins to just hit the three. She's a good three-point
Ants
shooter.
from the left-hand side for a three. Off the rim down to Fraser. Fraser back out to Ants on the side, to Tompkins coming down the middle, but passes a little off her hands and picked up by the Alpena Wildcats, who now bring the ball up the court. Ball in the hands of their star, Christina Colian, who brings it across the timeline and passes it over to the right-hand side. It's batted away by Katie Lewis for the Northman, goes out of bounds, and it is going to be Alpena's ball. So Christina Colian brings the ball in again for the Wildcats. Lexi Smith with it now, over to the far side, back out on top to Colian. Colian looking around, the pass to the right side. Defense strong on the inside for the Northmen as they can't get the ball in, and as they try to do that, there's a foul called, I think, on Katie Lewis.
Yes, and that's her first.
she was going towards the basket but not shooting. So Colleen steps out of bounds to pass the ball in for the Wildcats. Northman up 15-6 with under a minute to play in the first quarter. Ball comes out to Trelfa, and Colleen shoots a three, just long over the rim. Comes down and there's a scramble for it, tied up there as Lewis gets her hands in there to tie that ball up. But it's Alpena's turn, so they get the ball out of bounds.
You know, several of those shots, Alpena shots, have absolutely missed everything from the corner.
I know. I think it's funny when Marty, he's very polite on the air, and I'm pretty blunt. But when he just says just a tad bit long, you know that they either chucked it over the backboard or
we switched
they got or nothing but net. It literally hit no net. Like.
Well, we switched personalities. Off the air, Caitlin is sweet as could be, and on the air, off the air, I'm a jerk. But now, just trying to do whatever we can. Now, Northman has the ball. It's Tompkins, and pass it all the way across everybody to Yance, who does get open underneath and puts the ball up and in. Northman now
it's magic. It's like there she is. There she is.
There she is. There she is. There it is. 2 points. Alpena now brings the ball up, and they call it a two. Guess her foot was on the line, and that was tough. And so we end the first quarter with the Northmen leading 17-8 over the Alpena Wildcats. We'll be right back with the second quarter right here on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210 and worldwide on WJML.com.
Nestled in the woods across from the Pellston Regional Airport, the Pellston Lodge is halfway between Mackinac City and Petoskey and close to all the great things about northern Michigan. Enjoy first-class accommodations, a dip in the pool after your long day, and wireless internet throughout the hotel. A delicious morning continental breakfast awaits you before a day of activity. Winter ski packages are also available from Nubs Knob Ski Resort, so make your next stay at the Pellston Lodge in Pellston, on the web at pellstonlodge.com.
Yeah, so you have to be careful with Jason. At the beginning of the game, while the parents were coming out escorting their daughters onto the floor for parents' night, he said, we should be playing Pomp and Circumstance or something like that. And here we go as we come into the second quarter. Just the players out there now. No parents are out there. They're up in the stands cheering on their team as the Northmen, who lead 17-8, bring the ball in to get the second quarter underway. And it's Van Worden with the ball over on the right-hand side, looking around for something to happen inside. Kelsey Ants moves towards the middle, but backs off. It's now Stinger with the ball on the outside, gets it into Ants out on top to Stinger again. Her shot off the rim, rebounded, and now back over to Lewis. Shot off the rim, but Lewis picks it up again, brings it back down in, stops as she gets in the lane, gets it to Tompkins over on the right side. Van Worden with it. Driving down, she got between the defenders, but they stuck a hand in and knocked the ball out of her hands. But it took them a foul to do that. So Van Worden going to the line. Northman leading 17-8, 7:23 remaining, quarter number 2.
Foul was on Cat Taft. That's her first, team's second.
And Van Worden's first shot off the rim. It just clanks right off the rim, flies way away, and was complete.
No, that one just that one. He lies.
Oh.
That one was just right off the rim.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Just trying to do what you want me to do here.
I don't want you to lie.
Oh, okay. All right. Alpena with the ball. That's true. They get the ball down inside, and shot goes wild, and it's picked up and brought out by Ants over the right-hand side.
Pass goes wild.
A little too long for Van Worden. And it's going to be the Alpena ball under their basket. Northman 17-8 early in the second quarter. Christina Colleen with the ball now, bringing it up in the backcourt. Van Worden waiting for her at the timeline. She passes it up to
Kate.
Barkley, and Lewis jumps in there and knocks the ball away, but they save it just before it crosses the timeline. Colleen with it and gets it into Lexi Smith. Smith in the middle to Trelfa, but it's out of her hands, picked up by Van Worden, who's getting down the court in front of everybody else and puts up the layup. Colleen right on her shoulder, but unable to do anything with her except foul her, and she didn't. So the basket goes in, and it's 19-8 for the Northmen. across the line now. Alpena with it, and Trelfa on the right-hand side, back out on top. Shot goes up there from Smith, off the rim, and Van Worden with it, looking down the court, finds Ants up there. She stops at the three-point arc as the defense is back now, but she gets it inside to Lewis. Lewis's shot misses. It's on the floor, scrambling for it, picked up by Colian as she brings it. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that was Colian. The ball gets away. I guess she tripped over the timeline, and the ball came out of her hands, picked up by the Northman.
And as Katie was dribbling down the court, Megan Barkley drew some contact and drew her first foul.
Yeah, one of those turnover fouls. After something happens, you reach in and just get that foul.
That was a good foul just because she would have had an open layup then. So, I can deal with those.
Okay. It's just me you can't deal with today, but it's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's just one of those days, Marty.
Hey, you know how it is. Yeah. But that's all right. I can take it. I'm a professional. And,
I hope so.
Alpena.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
getting
kidding.
thick around here. Alpena with the ball now. Northman leading 19-8, 5:53 remaining in the second quarter. Ball comes up to the forecourt. Alpena, they stop, pop it up, and off the glass. Alpena gets the rebound, and they bring it back out on top. That's Milligan with the ball. Her shot around the rim and down to Ants. Ants right in the middle, pulls it out, gets it all the way up across the timeline, finds Van Worden across the court. She stops, gets it back to Ants. Ants puts it up from the free throw line, misses, and it's tapped out of bounds, and I believe it's going to be Alpena's ball. It's knocked out by the Northman.
We have Liz Frazier coming in. She's going in for Amanda Stinger right now.
Nice passing, nice opportunity, but they couldn't put it together at the end there for the Northman. Ball comes in now for Alpena.
We have Northman pressing, and we don't see this every day.
Yeah, but they get through it real easily, and but they do, as they cross the timeline, they do travel, which was partly a result of that press. So
it is.
Northman. It was entirely the result of that press, and so the Northman get the ball back after great defensive play. Northman with the ball now. It is Van Worden out on top. Northman with the ball with 5:11 remaining. Kelsey Ants on the right-hand side passes it inside there, and that was Jamie Larson. Shot missed.
It's kind of funny because Kelsey did like one of those obvious like head nudges, like cut, and it was wide open. She definitely can see the court well.
All right, ball back out on top. Kelsey on defense now, playing out on top against Lexi Smith. Smith dribbling into the baseline. Shot comes up from the corner, and that was Smith, and made it from out there. So it's 19-10 now, Northman with 4:35 remaining. Van Worden over on the left-hand side of Lewis. Lewis back out on top to Van Worden. Dribbling across the top, Kelsey Ants pops out on the right-hand side, gets it down to Lewis. Lewis back out on top, and now they find Kelsey open on the inside. Got a defender on her back, but she goes up over her and scores 21-10. Northman. Quickly up the floor, it's Lexi Smith. Back out on top to Milligan. Her shot comes down, and it's rebounded off the floor by the Northman. They get the ball up quickly to Ants. Dribbles into a double team, spins around, gets open underneath the basket. Shot goes up, hits the bottom of the rim. She gets it back and under control, back out on top, and now down inside to Fraser again. Fraser shot up, misses. Van Worden gets it. She goes up with it, and she's fouled. That is Larson.
Yes.
Who went up with it and did a nice job taking it up and right into that foul. So she's getting rewarded with a free throw.
The foul's on Amy Milligan. That is her first, team's fourth.
Larson at the line. And her shot off the front of the rim and in. And Tompkins and Skolton
came in for Katie Lewis and Kelsey Ants.
Larson misses off the front rim, rebounded by Alpena. 22-10, 3:44 remaining in quarter number 2. Ball across the midcourt line now, and that is Milligan with it. Gets over to the left-hand side, looking around and driving towards the basket. Contact on the baseline. It was Liz Fraser for the Northman, giving a hard time there to Jenna Talbot, closing her out of room, but don't think they called a foul.
Yep, foul.
They did?
Yeah, that's her first foul, team's third of this half. We have Asia Abram Craig in. for Jamie Larson.
Okay, and shot underneath. And a foul probably on Van Worden,
Yes.
I think. As there was contact underneath going to the line.
I always hate when we get back-to-back fouls. It's like my pet peeve. But it always happens. If we get a foul, we have to get 2 seconds.
Adriana Hatch on the line. Putting the ball in there for the Wildcats. Alpena with another shot right here. And this time she misses, rebounded by Tompkins. Tompkins looks around for somebody and decides to bring it up herself, then gives it to Van Worden to get it across the timeline. Van Worden into traffic, passing it over to Fraser, down to the baseline underneath. Going up with it was Abram Craig, and she's fouled. She's going to the line. Northman doubling the Wildcats now, 22-11. And Abram Craig trying to put some more points on the board for the Northmen. Her first shot goes in, nothing but net.
Foul was on Kendra Lay. That's her first, team's 5th. It's kind of funny for the for Alpena Wildcats. No one has scored more than 2 points.
Abram Craig just got 2 points right there. She made the second free throw. And Alpena with the ball on the outside of the three-point arc. They get it down to the baseline and back out on top. It's Strong there now. Over on the right-hand side to Hatch. Her shot goes off the rim, but Alpena gets the rebound. Underneath, that was Talbot. As she takes it up, she runs into Megan Tompkins, who bats the ball away from her. And the whistle blows, and I think it just went out of bounds.
Yep, just blocked it out of bounds.
And Amy Milligan standing out there to throw the ball in for Alpena, trailing 24-11. Get the ball in on the baseline, the far side of the court. Back out on top now to Talbot. Talbot being closely guarded by Fraser. Passes it over to the right-hand side now to Hatch. And back in middle, right on the free throw line to Strong. And goes out the far side of the court and goes over to the Northman. Northman bringing the ball in. That's Skolton over there getting ready to pass the ball in for the Northman with 2:42 remaining in the first half. Northman up 24-11. Ball comes into Fraser. Liz Fraser bringing the ball up, being closely guarded there. She passes it to Skolton. Still has to get across the timeline. They just did to Fraser. Inside to Abram Craig, and she passes it.
Nice job, Tommy.
It up. And Megan Tompkins with some great green laces. I hadn't noticed those before.
Oh, I just noticed them.
Yeah.
Foul was on Amy Milligan. That is her second, team 6. 2:25 left on the half.
Alpena's starting to look very desperate.
Tompkins going
and
to the
understandably
line.
so.
And her shot misses. Yeah, there's an Alpena player with green.
Didn't she just make that?
Laces on there too. Yes, she did.
Did you say her shot just missed? You said her shot just misses?
Well, it's 27-11. That's what the score is. Ball's inside now. Alpena has it. It's Talbot with the ball. Tompkins gets the ball away from her, and Skolton bringing the ball up court. He passes it up to Fraser, and as they try to get over to the right-hand side, ball gets away and out of bounds. Alpena with it. Minute 58 remaining in the first half, 27-11. Northman ball comes into Jenna Talbot in the backcourt, and she gets it up across the timeline, runs into Liz Fraser, who defends out there. Now the ball goes to Lay on the right-hand side, and whistle blows. I guess there's some contact inside, and the ball's going out of bounds. A foul
was called on Asia Abram Craig. That's her first, team's 5th.
So we don't have anybody with more than one, right?
No.
Like 5 people with 1 foul each. And timeout called as they were not about to get the ball in bounds in time.
Alpena.
And Coach Pauly called timeout just in time for the Wildcats. So now we got the Northland looking pretty good tonight.
27-11, 147 left in this half. They're looking really good. They're playing a lot of people tonight, and I think Coach wants to do that before, we get further down in districts. So it's great to see everybody playing tonight and everyone playing well tonight. Right. Overall, I think we can push the ball up more. A couple of times Tompkins waited for the outlet. She's more than capable of dribbling up the ball up the court, and there's a few other people who are just not looking up. So.
But unlike the Ogma Heights game, tonight the team looks organized.
Yes,
they know what they're
definitely
doing out there.
executing, whatever coach decides to run. They're definitely executing that. But Alpena is playing kind of like a loose. I can't figure out if it's a 2-3 or a 1-2-2. Just because if they're trying to shadow someone, I'm not sure. But it's very loose. So I think, it's very, when you're playing a press like that.
Abby Blanchard now in for the Northmen. I was just going to say she was one of the few people who haven't gotten in yet as they've been getting pretty deep on their bench. Ball off the hands of Alpena, and they step out on the line. So it's going back to the Northmen. It's Amanda Stinger now in the game has the ball. It's Stinger, Abram Craig, Blanchard, Tompkins, and Fraser. And Fraser gets the ball in the middle to Abram Craig. Down on the baseline to Tompkins. She misses. It's picked up by Blanchard. She misses. And the whistle blows and starts play. And I don't know what they're calling. Maybe
it's
just
jump
a
ball.
tie-up.
Yep, it's a jump ball. And it's a very loose 1-2-2. And whoever's the one is double teaming the ball. So, the Northmen need to, do some high-low action. The middle's going to open up if they can, get the people the ball.
All right, ball out on top. Outside now for Alpena. Strong-headed pass back out on top now to Milligan. Whistle blows, and it's a turnover. Northmen going to get a ball out on the sideline. Amanda Stinger with it. Brings it into Liz Fraser, who brings it up across the line. Passes it in to Stinger and back out on top. Over on the left-hand side of Stinger, she takes a step towards the basket, but passes it back out on top to Fraser. Fraser tries to get it into Abram Craig in the middle, but it's knocked out of her hands, and Alpena comes up the floor. They get all the way to the baseline, puts the shot up, and Stinger gets in the way. I think they're going to call a foul on her, but she did save the basket. And, looks like they called.
That's her first foul, team 6. 55 seconds left, so both teams have 6 team fouls. So hopefully, they can slow it down and make sure it doesn't go in bonus.
Yep, halftime coming at just the right time for the foul totals. And that's Amy Milligan at the line. She put the first one in. She's getting ready to take a second one. 27-12. And here's the second shot. That one goes in as well.
Natalie Weaver's now in the game, and Kelsey Ants is back.
Milligan has a really nice free throw stroke and looked really good putting that one in. Ants passes the ball off through a double team, goes over now to Weaver on the left-hand side, back out on top to Stinger, and Stinger to Tompkins, who's outside the three-point line. Gets it inside to Ants. Ants turns around, puts it in. Tompkins to Ants. Northman 29-13, about half a minute left in the first half. Alpena with the ball in on the right-hand side to Milligan. Milligan passes the ball in and gets it back. She shoots. It's short. Saved. Almost saved.
It was so short it could have been saved. Because if it was barely short, then...
It was short enough that it was going out of bounds. It didn't hit the basket
No,
or
it
anything.
didn't hit nothing. They want to know the truth, Marty.
Well,
we got to make it real.
Trying to tell them the truth as best I can, but I'm glad you're here to keep me honest.
I just like to make people look bad.
Alpena Polian brings the ball down, puts it up off the rim, and the horn goes, and we are at the end of the first half, and we're going to be right back here in just a minute with the UPS Store Petoskey halftime show right here on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210 and worldwide on WJML.com.
Things have perked up in downtown Alanson with the all-new R&R Cabin Restaurant. Chef Randy Cole and his partner Ruth invite you to stop in for a jumpstart breakfast or a delicious lunch of gourmet sandwiches and homemade soups. This Friday, try R&R Cabin's Friday night fish fry starting at 4 o'clock. Fill up on a great meal and top it off with a cup of freshly brewed coffee and one of many homemade desserts. Now open, try the all-new R&R Cabin, located in downtown Alanson. Call for today's special at 231-203-2012.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I'm an unwinder. I'm about to go unwind for 4 days at a spa. The last thing I want to do is deal with my luggage, so I'm going to leave it up to logistics.
Unwinders love logistics. With our luggage services, just drop your luggage off at the UPS store, and your bags will be sent right to your destination. No waiting in line to check bags, no waiting at baggage claim. All you have to do is unwind. To find a location near you, visit theupsstore.com. The UPS store locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours vary by location.
Well, it's halftime here in Petoskey, and just by the way, it happens to be halftime at the Pistons game. The Pistons, unfortunately, are losing to the Pacers 36-60, but the Northmen, so you're listening to the right game, because the Northmen are handling the Wildcats pretty well, 29-13, and pretty good-looking first half.
Yeah, a lot of girls are getting playing time, 29-13. No one's in foul trouble. We are seeing a lot of scoring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 girls have scored for the Northmen tonight.
Okay, while you're at it, as long as
sorry.
we're going here on the UPS Store Petoskey halftime show, why don't we get the numbers on both sides?
Okay, Tompkins has 7. Jamie Larson has 1, Alyssa Van Worden has 4, and Asia Abram Craig has 2, and Kelsey Ant has 15.
Right.
So, it's great.
Sounded like you were
sad circumstances, having her grandmother's funeral today, but she's playing awesome. She has a lot of support here. So, again, if you just tuned in with us, just keep her family and thoughts in our prayer. Marianne Jangle passed away Sunday, so a lot to play for tonight.
Yeah, well, we're all going to miss her. She was a big listener to our broadcasts, and it's these things happen. Sorry that they have to, and they're a nice close family, and they're here at the game supporting their daughter and accepting the condolences from a lot of people in town who know them very well. Kelsey's mother, as you may know, used to play on the Northman team, and very obviously proud of the accomplishments that her daughters had, and this was a good night for that, as they had their parents' night, a chance for them to go out on the floor and receive the thanks of the crowd for all that they do for this Petoskey Northman team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, the Northmen... Go ahead, sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to say Alpena is scoring. Now, this is kind of cool. I'll just go down. Jenna Tabalt with 2. Lexi Smith with 2. Amy Milligan with 2. Kenton Teff with 2. Adrienne Hatch with 1. Lizzie Twelfa with 2. And Christina Polian with 2. So
they're spreading it around.
It's very spread out. It's very ironic that, I'm happy that no one is getting, there's not one person scoring a lot. So that means they're doing their job, and that means Alpena's doing their job. If they are finding the people that are open, it's just everyone has gone to the basket at least once. Even free throws, no one's even seen the free throws. The girls went to the line. They scored off at least one of their free throws, but they didn't go to the line multiple times in a row or anything. So, great job by the Northmen, shutting down Coley, and she sat out for a little bit. I'm not sure why. If I was a coach, I would still have her in there. But I think she's one of the girls who has a lot of drama on the team and gets easily upset. And so if she's having some kind of uproar with something, you have to pull her and sit her down and settle her down. So maybe that's why they had to just settle her down.
Is that a little disruptive for a team? I mean, here's a person who is a senior scoring leader, should be a real emotional leader for the team, so you want them to have a little bit of fire. But don't you want them to help everybody stay calm and organized?
Yeah, it's
in the
definitely,
game?
I'm not going to say what team, but it's definitely really frustrating to have someone who has such a high skill level with the game they play, and you never know what day you're going to get or what type of support you're going to get. Sometimes when I was on that type of team, some days was just like, they did a great job, It's like, why can't you do this consistently? You know, you were there for the high times. Where are you for the low times? So I've been on pretty good Petoskey basketball team, so we had a lot of high times. So there was only very few low times. So, you know,
it's easy to be a tight together team when everything's going well.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. Everybody's doing their job.
Yep, and things are certainly going well for the Northmen, but we'll be right back in a couple of minutes to talk about this a little bit more as the UPS Store Petoskey Halftime Show continues on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210 and worldwide on WJML.com.
Bob, what was that?
Hey, that was our old computer.
Why did you do that?
Well, it was old and slow, and I was getting frustrated waiting for it. I just got to go out and buy a new one, I guess.
That was a waste. Silver Dollar Business Solution makes your computers fast again. For pennies on the dollar compared to what a new computer costs, you don't even have to pack it up. They'll come to you.
If your computer is slow, unreliable, or just plain broken, call Silver Dollar Business Solutions for affordable on-site repair, tuning, and upgrades. Silver Dollar Business Solutions can resolve most problems in one convenient appointment and works for 100% customer satisfaction. Call 231-758-2851 to make your appointment. Mention this ad and get 20% off your first visit.
I guess that dynamite wasn't such a good idea after all.
231-758-2851. Silver Dollar brings value to you.
My name is Susan, and I run my own consulting firm, which really means I'm the consummate multitasker. I'm the accounting department, the marketing department, the mailroom. So how do I get it all done? Logistics.
I'm Bob from the UPS Store. Multitaskers like Susan send their presentations to us online, and we print them, bind them, and make handouts. We also handle their packing and shipping. And with one of our mailboxes, we can sign for packages, even send text alerts when they arrive.
Thanks to logistics, I can do more than ever. And I didn't think that was possible.
Multitaskers love logistics. That's why they love the UPS Store and all the things they do. To find a location near you, visit the upsstore.com today. Participation, prices, and hours vary by location. See Center for details.
Your Petoskey UPS Store is your certified packing expert. Locally owned and operated and located in the Mitchell Street Plaza near Radio Shack. Mention that you heard this ad and you'll get a 10% discount on in-store custom packaging.
Jason on the bongos over there, getting us a little entertainment here at halftime. We appreciate that. Carlin Smith just stopped by to say hello. He handed me a flyer for the Pizza Pizzazz. Yeah, there's all these Z's and A's in there and everything, but it's
Pizza Pizzazz.
Pizza Pizzazz, which is a fundraiser for the Petoskey Education Foundation. It's been a week for that. There's all these fundraisers going on this week that are food fundraisers. Go to Wendy's and support the such and such. Go to, whatever. And but this one is go get pizza, and $1 donation per pizza will be made towards scholarships and mini grants for Petoskey Public School students, or you can make direct donations to the Petoskey Education Foundation at 1130 Howard Street in Petoskey. And all these different pizza places around town are participating. So if you don't like BC Pizza, you'd rather go to Corner Grocer, or you like Jets Pizza or Mancino's or Galley Gourmet or Spicy Bob's or Noggin Room or Pallet Bistro or Randy's Mighty Good or
It's
Northern
all
Lights
of those
Recreation
places?
Center.
It's not just a specific?
All those places are doing $1 donation per pizza. So the whole town really getting together behind
And
this.
it looks... Okay.
Yeah.
I was just looking. I was wondering if it was like any franchise, but yeah, they
No,
are a
it's
franchise.
everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something to do Monday night, of course, you know what you're going to be doing Monday night. You're going to be listening to watching the first game of the districts.
But if you don't want to, you can grab a pizza
and the pizza's
and
all
listen
day.
to it on the radio.
There you go. But the pizzas are all day. So if you don't want to take time to cook or anything because you're getting all excited for the game, go get a pizza basically anywhere in Petoskey on Monday, and to help support the Petoskey Education Foundation. And kids in the Petoskey school system. Anyway, we could support the basketball team right now because they're back in action here at the beginning of the second half. Kelsey Ants didn't need any support. She drove down the lane through all the defense and put the ball in the basket. 31-13 Northland just underway here in the second quarter. Alpena with the ball out on top. It's who is that? That's Milligan out on top. Gets the ball back now. It's the Trelfa. They drive into the baseline, and they completely miss everything, and the Northmen get the rebound. It's Van Worden bringing the ball back out on top of the Northmen over to the left-hand side to Liz Fraser. Lots of arms up, but they finally pass the ball to Hannah Skolton, who's got it out on top. She's looking around, finds Van Worden on the right-hand side, back to Tompkins out on top, and into Ants. I wonder what percentage of the time that Megan passes the ball, it goes to Kelsey. But anyway, it's back out on top to Skolton now. Takes a look at a three-point shot from the far side, passes it up, gets back in the middle of Van Worden. Van Worden down to Liz Fraser, and back out on top to Van Worden. A lot of passing, just like at the beginning of the game. And Skolton tries a three-pointer, but she misses, and it's rebounded by Alpena.
Right now, Alpena is running a 2-2 and a 1 shadowing Kelsey, so...
Not a bad strategy. You want to make sure that Kelsey doesn't get her hands on the ball, if you can.
Well, it didn't work too well last possession.
No, it didn't. But anyway, Alpena with the ball now, and they bring the ball in, and it's Milligan with the ball out on top now. And she looks over to the right-hand side to Colian. Nice job by Van Worden knocking the ball out of Colian's hands and then finally tying it up. And goes to whoever's got the arrow right now, and that is Alpena. But you want to get those done even if they're going to the other team, because that means next time we get it. So Colian passes the ball into the backcourt, goes to Talbot. Talbot is being guarded by Fraser and gets across the midline. Fraser knocks the ball away from her, so Talbot gives up her dribble and picks it up. And as she throws it in, it is knocked out of bounds by Alpena.
Double dribble.
And Petoskey with the ball. Skolton in the forecourt on the near side now. Passes it to Ants, who's immediately triple teamed, but she gets away with the ball and goes over to Fraser. Fraser to Van Worden, back out on top to Fraser. Her shot off the rim. Rebounded inside by Van Worden, who followed that shot. Great.
She's been doing that for most of her points. Just one of the harder rebounders tonight and putting back those putbacks on missed shots.
Yeah, the defense was in pretty good position on those rebounds, and she just went right through them and got it. Pass coming out on top now for Alpena as the Northland lead 33-13. Out on top there now to Emma Strong. And back to Jenna Talbot out on top. She's being guarded closely by Fraser. And it's stolen by Ants. She brings about one person to beat. That's Colian. She takes it right to her, puts the ball over her head and in the basket. Nice job. Schools Colian a little bit.
Again. I don't like Colian.
So Colian and I have something in common. All right. And it's Alpena with the ball now up in the forecourt, trailing 35-13. No, we get along great up here. Anyway, Colian's shot goes up, goes around the rim, falls to Van Worden, and everybody's charging up the court. Ball comes up ahead of everybody to Fraser. Fraser back to Anson. Now everybody's down court. Ball goes into Tompkins. She goes to hook it up in there, and she is fouled going to the line. Doesn't get the shot off. But we're still waiting. This is the last regular season game. We're still waiting for that dunk.
I know. Oh, Megan. Okay, we forgot to practice. Okay, the foul is on, let me see, Lizzie Trelfa. That is her first, team's first of this half.
And Megan's shot goes in. We've got Stinger and Lewis coming in.
Coming in for Van Worden and Skolton.
Megan's got another shot coming right now. Oh, you didn't get to work with her on her dunks?
It's been a busy week.
Well, so if she doesn't make one today, it's your fault. She did make that free throw, though.
We still have district, so.
That is true. And it's true she's gotten all through her four-year high school career without putting her dunk in. I'm sure she's ready. Shot pass comes in from Alpena, but it's knocked away by Stinger and out of bounds. Alpena bringing the ball in. It's Colian on the near sideline. Passes it into Milligan. Milligan driving down the middle, but runs into the defense, and her pass picked up by Stinger. gets the ball all the way up. She stops and passes it across. Ooh, miss. That was Fraser under there, and she's kind of curled up on the floor. She fell down in a pile, and she's having a little trouble getting up.
She can't get up. Oh, this does not look good. It's definitely her knee.
And
it's always a scary situation when it's a girl basketball player's knee, just because ACL tears and.
And your knees are really vulnerable in basketball. You go up.
They say soccer and basketball are probably the worst things you can do.
Fraser is up and walking out the floor with assistance. Looks a little more stable now. So, but she sits down pretty heavily on the bench, and they're going to be taking a look at her. So we'll keep our eyes on her and see if we can give you any kind of an update. Allie will in the game to take her place. And Alpena bringing the ball in. They're trailing 37-13 to the Northmen with 4:11 remaining in the third quarter. And
I don't know why that wasn't a kick ball.
They get it inside, then they pass it back out on top to Lexi Smith. Lexi passes the ball in to Colian on the left-hand side. Colian gives it up to Emma Strong, who puts the ball in.
And that's her first 2 points of the night. So everybody so far scored 2 to 1 points. Besides Kendra Lay.
Stinger with the ball, puts it out, but it's rebounded by Milligan and gets the ball up, passes it underneath to Colian. She misses the shot. Colian misses the shot, and it's Lewis bringing the ball out for
misses
the Northmen.
a layup.
Lewis has the ball back, gives it up, and it gets into Tompkins. Back out to Lewis outside the three-pointer.
Yes,
beautiful.
Lewis.
About 2 steps back from the arc, and she put it in beautifully.
She just needs to be, I'm excited for her next year. We don't see a lot. She definitely has a nice shot, but I feel like she doesn't feel like it's her role to contribute offensively. So next year's going to be exciting to watch her.
Plays great defense. And by the way, Ant's stealing the ball away, brings it up to the timeline where she's guarded by Coley and gets it across. But, yeah, Lewis contributes in lots of ways to this team, but we do need her to shoot a little more, especially next year. Out on top to Stinger over to the left-hand side to Lewis. And Lewis handles the ball really well, brings it back out on top and looking around. And there's Allie Will on the left hand, on the far side. She gets the ball, brings it back out on top to Ants. Ants looking inside, and there's Stinger, who tries to go by the defense, but takes a step before she dribbles, and it's called for traveling. The ball goes to Alpena. 2:29 remaining in the third quarter, 40-15. Northmen in firm control of this game. And just trying to keep that play sharp as we get ready for the districts. Alpena with the ball across the timeline. They go to the right-hand side. It's Lexi Smith over there. She passes it in the middle to Trelfa. Trelfa down to the baseline, and her pass out is blocked by Lewis and goes out of bounds. So it's going to be Alpena's ball out of bounds. Colian going out there to throw the ball in.
Right now, the Northmen are running a 1-3-1.
Colian gets it out to Trelf out on top, down to the baseline. Drives in, and Tompkins got in her way. Yep. And yeah, she was trying to keep her arms down, but she fouled her with her body and blocked her out. So Colian now going to the line. And the first shot misses off the front of the rim.
I don't want to speak too soon because I might jinx myself.
You
thought it.
That jinxing thought is Colian put the second shot in.
But we've held the Alpena Wildcats for 3 points to this quarter so far. 2 minutes left.
Tompkins gets the ball under the basket, puts it up and in. Afterwards, as she's running up the floor, she's knocked down by an Alpena player. But play continues as Alpena gets the ball up towards the timeline. 42-16 North and 1:48 remaining in quarter three. Colian with the ball gets by the defense, but not by Kelsey Ants, who bats the ball away. Kelsey back in defending on Lexi Smith. Kelsey picks the ball up off the floor, but it's going to be Alpena's ball out of bounds.
We have Alyssa Van Worden coming in for Kelsey Ants.
And Abram Craig getting ready to come in. And ball inside now to Tralfa. down to the baseline, and they put it up, but Van Worden gets the rebound as the shot misses. She took that over the top of Collian, who is... Can't say anything about Killian. This is a high school game. But Collian was out-rebounded very nicely that time. And contact underneath as Lewis goes towards the hoop. And I guess they just call it a tie-up. Trying to see what they
called
here.
Well, Coach D, when it was still in Katie Lewis's possession, he tried calling a timeout. But I think they called a tie-up. Now he wants a timeout. They call it timeout or jump ball, and it was our ball. So now he's right now setting up some kind of play. We have Alyssa, Katie, Allie, Will, Asia Abram Craig, and Amanda Stinger. So, we got our deeper bench in right now, and which is great. 42-16. They're doing a great job. 1:12 left in the third quarter. I think they're excited and ready to finish this game. And
they should be excited. Here they are on a 13-game win streak. They have locked up the Big North Conference Championship for the season. Clearly one of their goals at the beginning of the year. And I think they'd like to get to the regionals and at least win something at the regionals. If they,
I know. I'm trying to... Let me see if it's back. I can't find basketball.
Looking for the records up there.
I'm looking at, I can't see basketball. I think the last time we won regionals was over 10 years ago. And I think we've only won it once. So
yeah, since we've been doing the broadcast, I'm trying to remember, Jason, I know that we got into the regionals and lost to Marquette. That was a regionals game, I think.
Yeah.
That was just 2 years ago.
And last year we lost the first game of the regionals to Grand Haven.
And we lost, my freshman year, we lost regional finals to Tawas, and we lost regional finals to Kingsford.
Right, those were the last couple years in Class B.
The only time we didn't make it at all into the regionals was my junior year when we lost to Marquette.
Northman playing with the ball, drives in. It's Van Worden who gets the ball all the way to the hoop, but puts it in there nicely. 42-16 Northman, under a minute. About 35 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Barkley with the ball for Alpena. Over to Collian, down to the baseline to Lexi Smith. Drives to the baseline. Contact underneath there. She goes up with the ball. And foul being called on Abram Craig.
That is her team second of this half.
And going to the line is Lexi Smith. Is that?
Pardon me, third.
Yep, Lexi Smith. She misses her first shot. And getting ready for another one here. This one off the front of the rim and then in. And 18 points now for the Wildcats, who trail the Northland, who have 44. Northland get the ball inbounds. It's Van Worden quickly going through the defense, gets across the timeline and stops when she gets to the top of the three-point arc. Passes it across to the middle, driving down there. Lewis gets to the baseline. And what they call foul there? Yes, they did, and Lewis is going to the line. So Katie getting a chance to show off her free throw skills here. And nice, beautiful shot. Goes around and around a couple of times and falls through. 45-18, 14.3 remaining in quarter number 3. Her second shot, nothing but net. So Alpena brings the ball in, and it is Barkley bringing the ball up the court for Alpena to get across the timeline. Being guarded there by Will. Over in the right-hand corner, ball taken away by the Northmen. It is Lewis who came up with it. Shoots. Ooh! Yeah, from half court, right at the last second, the backboard lights up and the ball bounces right off the rim, almost in. And but we'll be back to talk about that shot and the rest of the play in the fourth quarter here on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210, and of course worldwide on WJML.com.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I'm an unwinder. I'm about to go unwind for 4 days at a spa. The last thing I want to do is deal with my luggage, so I'm going to leave it up to logistics.
Unwinders love logistics. With our luggage services, just drop your luggage off at the UPS store, and your bags will be sent right to your destination. No waiting in line to check bags, no waiting at baggage claim. All you have to do is unwind. To find a location near you, visit theupsstore.com. The UPS store locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours vary by location.
All right, we're back here in Petoskey for the fourth quarter of tonight's game between the Northmen, the Big North Conference champion Petoskey Northmen, and the Alpena Wildcats. During the break there, we had a chance to get a look at Liz Fraser, who was standing up on the edge of the bench.
So that's a good sign.
Yep.
Nothing too serious.
Getting some weight on that knee. Kelsey Ants, though, nice serious play. She steals the ball, goes all the way to the hoop, puts it in, and at the last second, it was Adrienne Hatch who caught up with her and fouled her. So she's going to the line for a three-point opportunity. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Northman up 48-18, and Kelsey Ants getting a chance to stretch that lead by one more here. And she's standing at the line and puts her shot up, and that's
nice
good.
Kels.
All right, so nice play by Ant stealing the ball and getting up court in front of everybody. And Alpena coming back now, driving down the middle of the lane, and they miss the layup when they get it in there. So back out on top, and they set back up again with Barkley handling the ball out on top, passing it into the free throw line to Hatch, and now they shoot from the right-hand side. They'll struggle for the rebound underneath. Alpena Colleen comes up with it, brings it up to Barkley. She gets around the defense by taking a step, but gets into the lane, puts a shot up, and then she's fouled.
By Kelsey Ant. That's her first.
There you go.
It's already the fourth quarter, so great job by Kelsey. She's playing an awesome game tonight.
Free throw goes around the rim and out, but there's one more shot coming here.
I want this girl to make it in just because then only Kendra Lay has to score and everybody scores. I don't know if that's a good reason, but...
Well, she did, so she
didn't score.
Oh, she didn't score, okay. So Northman get the ball back, and they bring up the floor, pass a little to him. Nice play by Kelsey Ansel. Knocked it away from the defender. She managed to catch up to it enough to knock it away, but the ball eventually goes out of bounds at the far end of the court, but it was off the hands of Alpena. So Hannah Skolton comes in, passes the ball in for the North, and they get it underneath. And that was Kelsey Ants who got the ball right under the basket, tries to put it up. She's fouled. She's right back at home on the free throw line.
Foul was on Kenton Teff. That was her second, team's fourth.
Kelsey makes her third free throw in a row. Oh, it's her second in a row. There was just one shot in that last.
Well, actually,
now it's three in a row.
She's made all her free throws.
There you go.
Knock on some wood.
There you go. So she made both of those. Now there's 7 minutes remaining in the game. Ball is tipped as it goes in to the middle of the lane and recovered by Blanchard for the Northmen. So they quickly bring the ball up the court. It's Weaver bringing the ball up to the forecourt now. Over on the left-hand side is Skolton. Back in the middle now as Ants drives down the lane. Ooh, rolls just off the rim. And Alpena comes up with the ball. That is Hatch with it over there, and back out on top now to Milligan. Milligan down the side there now to Teff, and now it's back up on top to Barkley as they reset their offense. Passes it down to the right-hand side to Hatch. And Colleen, nope, it was Hatch over there, and they bring it back out on top to Barkley. Colleen crossing underneath the basket. The ball comes back out on top to Strong. Strong out there on top, brings it down the lane. And picked up by Hatch on the left-hand side. Her shot comes up, misses, struggle for it underneath the basket, and tied up.
We are getting really lazy on going to the boards. We're getting like 5 offensive boards, and that should never happen.
They get a lot of opportunities to shoot. And now, right now, that's Teff at the free throw line.
First one goes in.
And getting ready for second one. A couple substitutions for the Northland. Larson in there now, and Lewis. The shot misses, and it's out of bounds off of the feet of Alpena player, and off of the Northland player, and the Alpena Wildcats are going to bring it in under their own basket, under their offensive basket. Ball comes in over to the left-hand side to Lay. Lay puts it up. Ooh, that was a chance for her to get in the book, but she missed that off the rim, and Northman bringing the ball up the court. It is Katie Lewis. Brings it down to the top of the key over the right-hand side to Skolton. Skolton takes a shot from the outside.
There we go, Hannah.
And she gets her three-pointer. First three-pointer of the game, I believe. Did we get one? Somebody else get one?
Katie Lewis.
Katie Lewis
her
got
beautiful one.
That's right. All right, so it's Alpena with the ball now. Northland up 54-19, 5:26 remaining. Dribbled the ball into the middle, and as she gets inside, that was Hatch. Fouled by the Northman as she brought the ball in.
Foul was called on Jamie Larson. That is her first, team 6. So, hopefully we can clean it up a little bit. We still have a lot of time left in this half in the game. So,
play getting a little sloppier right now. Anyway, shot goes up for Alpena. They miss it. Rebound brought down by Larson and knocked away, goes out of bounds, and Skolton ready to bring it in from underneath the basket for the Northman.
Hey, Connor!
Passes it up to Lewis, and the defense back in there setting up, and looks like 2-3. Northman with the ball on the outside. That's Blanchard out there. Blanchard passes it over to Weaver on the right-hand side. Skolton pulls it out of trouble over there, and then Weaver picks it back up on the far side, dribbles down to the middle, hands it off to Larson. Larson to Skolton and Fraser on the right, Lewis rather, on the right-hand side. Out on top to Skolton, back to Lewis. Lewis driving down the lane. She's double team, passes it back out on top to Weaver. Weaver shot off the basket, struggle forward inside, and Lewis fights her way into a crowd of green jerseys and ties the ball up. So it goes to Alpena on the arrow, and the Northman leading 54-19 with just 4:33 remaining in the game. In no particular hurry, Alpena bringing the ball up across the midcourt line. That's Milligan with the ball. Passes along the right-hand side. They drive to the baseline and pass it back out as the defense is pretty tight inside there. And it's now Taft with the ball outside, passes it in to Lay, gets it into the middle to Telfa, and they put the ball up and in. Northman with it, leading 54 to now 21 for the Wildcats as they break through the 20-point barrier. And Northman with the ball now. Lewis over on the out the top of the key. Lewis over to the left side, back out on top to Larson. Larson's shot misses, but it's rebounded by Lewis. Drives all the way around to the right side. Follows Larson like a halfback runner around behind the defender. Gets to the line, misses. The ball comes out on top, and rebound falls to the floor. And
it hit the cords on top of the basket, so automatic. Looks like there's a timeout. I think I don't know which coach called timeout, but just to probably settle the girls down, it is 54-21. We have a few new subs in. It's Amanda Singer, Asia Abram Craig, Katie Lewis, Hannah Skolton, and Jamie Larson out there on the court. So, coach probably is look at the time. The clock's on our side. Let's work for a good shot. We don't need to rush anything, and just play solid defense.
It'd be nice if we could tighten up a little bit on defense, and we got this team to only 21 points with just about 3.5 minutes remaining. It'd be nice if we can keep them in that near 20-point range here tonight. I'm not sure where we are in terms of the school record on defense, but we're right around there someplace.
We're close. I don't think we're going to get it this year.
That last game kind of made it a little more difficult, but let's see what happens. Alpena gets the ball out across half court, and it is now Teff with the ball over the right-hand side to Hatch. Tries to bring it in, can't, brings it back out on top. Looks around over to the left-hand side now to Lay. They get it down to the baseline, but it goes out of bounds as Larson's there getting in the way of the pass. But I think she touched the ball, so it's going to Alpena. out of bounds. Just coming in for the Northmen is Allie Will, as Hannah Skolton takes the seat, gets a cheer from the crowd, as senior probably seeing her last regular season action of her career. And the shot goes up. It's rebounded now by Lewis. Lewis brings it up. The court goes to Larson. Larson put the ball up off the rim, rebounded by Alpena, and it's tied up in there, and a nice play by Jamie Larson. It's got to be the Northland's ball this time, and it is. It's going to be Lewis bringing the ball in from the sideline, gets it in to Stinger. Stinger dribbles slowly across the top, gives it to Lewis on the left-hand side. Lewis trying to curl into the middle, stops, gives it up for Allie Will at the top. Stinger, and then Abram Craig
Nice, Asia.
puts it up and just over the rim, rebounded by Alpena. And they get the ball inside, but it's off their hands and grabbed by Stinger, who stops at the timeline and lets everybody catch up with her. She was ahead of all the Northmen, but behind all the Wildcats, and decided she wanted to change up the odds a little bit.
And Coach D called a timeout, probably just to set something up. They're moving a little bit slow out there. We're not moving the ball, and they're running a 2-3 zone. So we probably, with that group of girls, you don't usually see all the men at the same time. And,
right.
You know,
it's
just
kind of an
switching up.
unusual mix of players out there, and wants to shape things up a little bit here with 2:26.
There's finally a song that Jason likes. That's too funny. He's like all like pumped because finally there's something he relates to.
On the PA here at the gym, yeah. Usually he's got some complaints about the music, but now
it doesn't put me in the mood like that did.
In the mood, yes. I don't know. He must have slipped down there and stuck that CD in the pile down there. That's not what they usually play. But Northman now with the ball. Clock ticking, 2:13 remaining. Out on top is Lewis. She drives to the basket. The whistle blows. Ball is out of bounds and almost made it out through the door into the hallway, but they track it down.
Foul is on Adriana Hatch. That's her third. Team's fifth.
Non-shooting foul, ball out of bounds to Stinger, who brings it in from under the basket out here to Larson. Larson back across to Will. Now it's Stinger from the top.
Nice.
And puts it in. They'll only give her 2 for that. I guess her foot was on the line, but it was pretty close to a three-pointer. 56-21. And Alpena with the ball. That's layover on the right-hand side. Driving now under the basket, cut off by Stinger, but little body contact in there, and I think they're calling the foul on Amanda.
That is her second, team seventh. They are going to the line for bonus. We just got to be careful.
And that is Adriana Hatch at the line there for Alpena. Puts it up. Notice that Collian hasn't been in for quite a while.
You know, I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. I could understand with, 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left, but she hasn't barely played the second half.
All right, shot goes in from Hatch. It is now 56-23, minute 47 as the final ticks of the clock winding down here as the Northland are about ready to finish the regular season. Allie Will with the ball over on the left-hand side to Lewis. Lewis dribbles across the top of the key, passes it back over on top to Stinger. Stinger coming down the lane, stops and pops it from halfway down, misses, and the rebound's tied up by Katie Lewis. The Alpena player had her hands on the ball. Lewis doing her thing there, gets her hands in and ties it up. At this point, though, the arrow's pointing to Alpena, so they're going to get the ball underneath the basket and bring it in. But like I said, that gets it set up for the next time. Alpena getting the ball across the timeline. Only minute 19 remaining. Ooh, underneath, open. A defensive assignment missed there. It's Jenna Talbot standing all by herself.
Running a 1-3-1. It's excellent ball pressure, but you're very vulnerable. I can't say that right now.
Vulnerable, yes.
Weak's backside, and if there's no one paying attention, then they're going to get easy shots like that all day.
Lewis with the ball in at the top of the key, looking around over to Stinger. Still way out on top. She goes by her defender, gets into the circle, puts it up, misses, and rebounded by Lewis, who brings it back out on top. Lewis passing it over to the right to Abram Craig, and goes inside. There's contact, and whistle blows. It's going to be a foul.
Foul is called on Adriana Hatch. That is her 4th, team's 6th.
And Katie Lewis going to the line for another free throw attempt. And this one is in. Nice shot. 57-25 now. Coming into the game is Megan Barkley for Alpena. And Lewis gets ready for her second shot. This one's up and around the rim and down, rebounded by Talbot, as Alpena brings the ball up the court with about a half a minute left in the game. They get all the way down the lane, all the way to the baseline, misses the layup, and the rebound pulled down by Lewis. Picks up her dribble and passes it to Larson. Back out on top to Stinger over on the far side there, down underneath. And then back out on top. Larson with the ball. Tries to drive down the right-hand side. Does. Stops and pops. Goes up. Miss. Rebound.
Nice job, Asia.
By Asia Abram Craig. Puts it in. Northman get the ball off the rebound. They hang on to it and the horn blows. So tonight's final score, Petoskey Northman, the conference champions of the Big North, 59, and the Alpena Wildcats, 25. We'll be right back to talk about this game and the upcoming playoffs on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210 and worldwide on WJML.com.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I'm an unwinder. I'm about to go unwind for 4 days at a spa. The last thing I want to do is deal with my luggage, so I'm going to leave it up to logistics.
Unwinders love logistics. With our luggage services, just drop your luggage off at the UPS store, and your bags will be sent right to your destination. No waiting in line to check bags, no waiting at baggage claim. All you have to do is unwind. To find a location near you, visit theupsstore.com. The UPS store locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours vary by location.
Bob, what was that?
Hey, that was our old computer.
Why did you do that?
Well, it was old and slow, and I was getting frustrated waiting for it. I just got to go out and buy a new one, I guess.
That was a waste. Silver Dollar Business Solution makes your computers fast again. For pennies on the dollar compared to what a new computer costs, you don't even have to pack it up. They'll come to you.
If your computer is slow, unreliable, or just plain broken, call Silver Dollar Business Solutions for affordable on-site repair, tuning, and upgrades. Silver Dollar Business Solutions can resolve most problems in one convenient appointment and works for 100% customer satisfaction. Call 231-758-2851 to make your appointment. Mention this ad and get 20% off your first visit.
I guess that dynamite wasn't such a good idea after all.
231-758-2851. Silver Dollar brings value to you.
And Northman out at center court with their championship banner, getting their photographs taken. Alpena has left the floor, which I don't know. Caitlin's a little busy right now, but what do you think about Alpena?
Okay, well, Alpena, okay, I'm going to hold this up for just a second. But Alpena, what was the question?
They left the floor.
Oh.
Well, Northman are out there getting their banner and all that stuff.
So they didn't even shake hands?
No, they're gone. Maybe they shook hands at the end of the game.
If they shook hands, yes, I would get myself. I wasn't really watching. This is an exciting moment, even though we already knew that we were district champs before this game even started. Now that they're singing "We Are the Champions" and we have that big banner.
There you go, and Megan Tompkins holding the trophy up in the air. Everybody's very excited, and well, they should be proud of their accomplishments for this season. They wrapped the regular season up in first place, champions of the Big North, with an 11-1 conference record. That one lost to Cadillac back early in the season. 17-2 overall for the season, with 14 straight wins, and very suitably standing on the floor, prancing around.
We got the seniors right now with the district champ. Not district, oh my gosh. Conference championship trophy, and 5 seniors all out there. Look at those neon laces.
I know. Yeah, Megan in the middle there getting all that attention, but there's some orange neon laces.
It looks so nice. Like they have like a perfect stacked. I don't know if they planned it, but Megan tallest in the middle, and the next two tallest, and then the little shorties.
Yep. Well, pretty happy team out there, and it's nice to see them all out there celebrating and having a good old time. Some parents and relatives starting to find their way down to the floor. And
should we do the Eye of the Tiger?
We certainly should. Did we?
No,
we cut it up. We cut it off
right.
because we wanted to get back, so we didn't have the music. But I think we can get that music right now.
There you go. And the Eye of the Tiger award goes to Kelsey Ants with 24 points. She played an awesome tonight under the circumstances that she's gone through. It's so hard to, to go from one. Look at Coach Dana's daughter. Oh, that's precious. But anyway, under the circumstances, I know her family's here up in town all supporting her, and having to go from such a, during the day, a funeral to playing a basketball game at night. I hope this brightens her mood and her family's mood, and I'm sure it will. So this broadcast was in memory of Mary Ann Jangle. It's one of our best supporters, probably one of our biggest fans.
Right, certainly a big fan and supporter of the team, and of her granddaughter, one of the number one big star of this team, Kelsey Ants, no question about it. Players still walking around on the floor, handing off the trophy to each other, and hugging and dancing around and having a good old time.
And there was, it was really quick we talked. There was a rumor Kelsey's very close to 1,000 points for her career, and she has plenty of basketball games. But I think she had to get 20. Rumor has it she had to get 25. I'm not positive.
Well, she's standing right over there. Why don't you go talk to her? Let me take this for a second. See if you can get in touch with her and find out where she is on that. And we'll keep talking to you about the scene here. A lot of people still here have not left the gym, as lots of hugging and jumping up and down, and fantastic stuff going on. And we're Caitlin talking to Mrs. Ants here, trying to get whatever the details she can get of the scoring situation. But Jason, yes,
there's such an adrenaline rush going on down there. I'll bet Megan could make that dunk right now.
Okay, well, I bet she's not going to try. She seems to be pretty tied up, hugging everybody, picking up her teammates and holding them up in the air, and they're climbing all over each other and having a grand old time down there. And now we have Caitlin back, wired up. So what's going on, Caitlin?
Okay, just talking. They won't exactly say. I don't think the coaches want them to know when that's going to happen, but talking to her mother, she thinks she needed 47 going into this game, so there's still a lot of games left, so she needs 23 points finishing out districts, which is very likable. Kelsey probably averages anywhere from 20 to 15 points a game, and I think this is
and the playoff games count for this. So
yes, so
if they can
I don't think coach wants, because I think if
he doesn't want to stress her out.
Stress her out, and this game means more than just 1,000 points. And Kelsey's been playing well without knowing, and doesn't want to mess up her rhythm, probably.
And it is a team game and all that. That's all really important too. So so we'll take a look at that. And one of the officials from the team came up and brought us the computer with all the official stats. So we'll add those up to Caitlin's stats that she keeps, and we'll be right back with the numbers on this after we take a quick break here on WJML News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210, and worldwide on WJML.com.
Parents, remember that big hit your kid took during the game? The kid probably doesn't. So after the game, watch out for signs that a concussion may have taken place. Signs and symptoms don't always show up right away, so learn what to look for. Get more information about concussions, including access to free online education courses, by visiting the MHSAA website and clicking on Education. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Things have perked up in downtown Alanson with the all-new R&R Cabin Restaurant. Chef Randy Cole and his partner Ruth invite you to stop in for a jumpstart breakfast or a delicious lunch of gourmet sandwiches and homemade soups. This Friday, try R&R Cabin's Friday night fish fry starting at 4 o'clock. Fill up on a great meal and top it off with a cup of freshly brewed coffee and one of many homemade desserts. Now open, try the all-new R&R Cabin, located in downtown Alanson. Call for today's special at 231-203-2012.
Hey, I'm Kristen.
The best mobile pet beautician around. I'm Robert.
The owner of the UPS store in my neighborhood. I get all kinds of pet products delivered all the time, and since my van is my office.
Her business needed a real street address.
So I got a mailbox at the UPS store. Now I never miss a delivery because Robert can sign
for all Kristen's packages and send out a text or email when they arrive. Kristen loves being in business on her own.
But with Robert's help, I don't feel like I'm alone.
And running around in circles.
Are you a
mind reader?
Wow.
To learn about mailbox services at the UPS store and to find a locally owned center near you, visit the UPSstore.com. We love small businesses. We love logistics.
Your Petoskey UPS store is your certified packing expert. Locally owned and operated and located in the Mitchell Street Plaza near Radio Shack. Mention that you heard this ad and you'll get a 10% discount on in-store custom packaging.
Okay, here we are wrapping things up at Petoskey High School, where the BNC champion Petoskey Northland just defeated the Alpena Wildcats by a score of 59-25. By the way, we had an opportunity off the air to talk to Kelsey Ans for just a second, and she told us that Liz Fraser's doing just fine. Banged on that knee, but really from the very beginning it didn't hurt her. She got up laughing, and we're glad to hear that she's okay and is going to be ready for the game on Monday. Kelsey, by the way, did a little acrobatics up here and showed us her shoe where she has her grandmother's name written on it, and that was a nice touch. And
definitely helped out for tonight.
Yeah. Not that she needed any help remembering or thinking about her grandma, but it was nice to see that. Nice to see her do that. We have some statistics to talk about. So if we can get Caitlin to stop playing with her locker sticker with her jersey number on it from old times, maybe she can.
I'll show you guys.
Oh, there we go. Let's get it on
special.
camera. There you go. All right.
Did number 32, Crittenden. Okay.
All right. Now, number one and only Crittenden, really.
No, there's 11. Okay.
Yeah. But
anyway,
enough of this. Let's take a look at the book. What we got 59 points tonight. Where'd that come from?
Hannah Skolton with 3, Tompkins with 11, Stinger with 2, Ants with 24, Larson with 1, Will with 6, Lewis with 8, and Van Worden with. Did I do this? Lewis with 6, Van Worden with 8, Abram Craig with 4, and for.
So Northman passing that scoring around pretty well, dominated by Ants and Tompkins, but a lot of contributions by other players, and of course a lot of non-scoring contribution as well. All right, now for Alpena, they only got 25 points. Where'd that come from?
Taval had 4, Smith had 4, Strong had 2, Milligan had 2, Teff had 1, Hatch had 3, Trelfa had 4, and Collian had 3. So.
And again, spread around pretty well, but in small numbers.
Great job defensively. Holding any girl to 4 points is awesome. So.
And then holding all of them,
to 4 points. Yes.
Yeah, it's just that's
dynamite.
That's what you meant. But that's wonderful. I'm glad they did it. What a wonderful way to wrap up the season. And before we go, let me remind you that I'm getting this signal from Jason. I have no idea what it means. So,
how are the Pistons doing?
Oh, how are the Pistons doing?
Why is that the Piston sign?
Because that's what they do in an engine.
I see. All right, I get it now. But
oh my gosh!
I'm not sure how I was supposed to. Hey, in any event, what I really want to talk about.
Somebody that works on his own car would make that reference, Caitlin.
Okay, sorry.
You guys done? What I really want to talk about is the playoffs, because that's the next thing that's going to happen. But to keep you happy, let me tell you, Jason, that we are either game. trying to see how the game is now. It's in the fourth quarter. Pacers are up 90-52. So those of you who listened to our game tonight made exactly the right choice. Got to see a great victory, and that ends the regular season. Time for us now. Now it's not at all premature to start talking about the playoffs. And I want to remind you what's going to be happening next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Is the districts, district number 12 for the Petoskey Northland. We've got our first game on Monday. The first round is Marquette Redettes here in town to play the Petoskey Northmen. And in Alpena, across the state, the folks that we played tonight are going to be hosting Traverse City West. And then Sault Ste. Marie is coming all the way down to Gaylord. They start at 7. The other games start at 6. So our game starts at 6. We'll be on the air about 5:30 and bring you that game. Then we've got the second round is on Wednesday. This moves pretty quickly in the districts. On Wednesday, the Marquette Petoskey winner plays the Traverse City West Alpena winner. I believe that's at Traverse City or Alpena, but those things can change around, and we will find out about that. Make sure we end up in the right town if we're fortunate enough to be able to do that. And then Traverse City Central, who had the first round bye, plays the winner of Gaylord and Sault Ste. Marie. Then the district on Wednesday. Then the district finals are on Friday. Hopefully we will be somewhere on Friday bringing that game to you and watching the next set of hardware be passed out to the Petoskey Northmen. They got a very nice piece of hardware tonight, the district championship trophy, and they're very happy to get it. A lot of excitement on the court, a lot of excitement up here. Caitlin, it's pretty good to see the team do so well this season, finish it up in a nice, strong way. Well, hey, they're carrying on your tradition, doing a great job of it. And
I don't know, but we'll just say that to make me feel better.
Well, they did do a great job, and so did you, and you played on the team, and it's all very, very nice. Northmen, let's wrap this thing up, unless we got something else we want to say. Anybody? All right, very good. Well, the final score in tonight's game is the Petoskey Northmen, the Alpena Wildcats, finishing up with 25 points. And tonight's Petoskey Northland basketball victory was brought to you by your local Petoskey UPS store, your certified packaging expert located in the Mitchell Street Plaza near Radio Shack. By Silver Dollar Business Solutions, increase your business's bottom line with value-added electronic payment services. By Northern Michigan Artist Market, with art in all media by over 90 local Northern Michigan artists from Traverse City to the top of the Upper Peninsula at 445 East Mitchell Street, next to the old library in Petoskey's historic Gaslight District. And while we're mentioning that, this is the Downtown Petoskey Blues Festival. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Still going on Saturday, so get downtown, come into the Artist Market. We've got art at 15% off for the Blues Festival. We celebrate the blue period of Petoskey artists by, if you wear blue, you get 10% off, and if you buy something that you can convince us is blue, you get 15% off. You get a total of 15% off. And lots of other things going on, a lot of fun in the Blues Festival, so be sure to check that out. And finally, our special thanks to WJML Radio, News Talk Sports 1110 and 1210, and worldwide on WJML.com. Good night, everybody. See you at the districts.